Hello guys, welcome to Doctor Science. So today we are going to talk about the landmarks of middle meatus, and not only that, we are going to talk about osteomeatal complex. So I want everyone to draw this small diagram here. So this is your nose, and the nose have the middle nasal septum, right? So here is your superior turbinate, and here is your middle turbinate, and this one is your inferior turbinate. So between the middle turbinate and the inferior turbinate, we have the middle meatus. So please watch my previous videos in order to understand this. And what are the structures or the sinuses which are draining here? The mnemonic is FEM. F stands for frontal sinus, E stands for ethmoidal sinus, especially the anterior compartment, and M stands for maxillary sinus. Okay, in the anterior compartment, I already told in my previous lectures that anterior compartment have one big large air cell called as the bulla ethmoidalis, which is going to drain here. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a circle here. Let me draw with the black color. Okay, so here is your external nose. Okay, the nasal opening. Think like this: you are doing a nasal endoscopy, and this is the hole or the external opening of the nose. Okay, and from the nose we can see a middle turbinate like this. So what is this? This is the middle turbinate. Please use your imagination, because this is solely based on your imagination. Okay, so this is the external opening of the nose through which you are doing a nasal endoscopy, and this is the structures that you are going to see through this. Okay, so this is the middle turbinate, and here is your middle meatus. Okay, so here is your middle meatus. What are the structures draining here? I already told you that one of the large air cell called as the bulla ethmoidalis. The green color thing here is the bulla ethmoidalis. Covering this bulla ethmoidalis is one sickle shaped. Okay, there is a sickle shaped. We'll draw with pink color. There is a sickle shaped bony process which is called as your uncinate process. Okay, and this space here, hope you guys can see the space here. Hope you guys can see the space here. This space here is called as your ethmoidalis infundibulum. Okay, so as you can see, this is the middle turbinate, and beside middle turbinate is your bulla ethmoidalis, and below that is the middle meatus, and there is a sickle shaped bone called as the uncinate process, and there is a space between the bulla ethmoidalis and uncinate process. That space is called as your bulla ethmoidalis infundibulum. Ethmoidalis infundibulum is nothing but the space between bulla ethmoidalis and uncinate process. Okay, now this space I will draw it here. As you can see here, I am drawing the ethmoidalis infundibulum. Ethmoidalis infundibulum, which is the space between bulla and the uncinate process. Now what are the structures draining here? That is the important thing. Structures draining are your frontal sinus, your ethmoidal sinus, and your maxillary sinus. Okay, so in the ethmoidalis infundibulum part, these are the three structures that are going, or the three sinuses that are going to drain here. Okay, now what is meant by osteomeatal complex? I want everyone to draw the diagram again. So here is your nose. This is the middle turbinate, right? And here is your middle meatus, and here is your sickle shaped bone called as the uncinate process, and here is your bulla ethmoidalis, which is opening into the middle meatus, and there is a space here, right? This space is called as your ethmoidalis infundibulum, into which the three sinuses, frontal, ethmoidal, and maxillary sinus, will open. Now this entire complex here, this entire complex, which include the bulla ethmoidalis, okay, bulla ethmoidalis, and ethmoidalis infundibulum, which is containing the three sinuses, frontal, ethmoidal, maxillary, and not only that, the uncinate process. All this complex is called as your osteomeatal complex. So what is meant by osteomeatal complex? It is nothing but bulla ethmoidalis, ethmoidalis infundibulum, and uncinate process, and not only that, including the sinuses which are draining, which is the frontal sinus, ethmoidal sinus, and maxillary sinus. So 3 plus 3, total 6 are here. You have to remember all these 6. Okay, so that is the concept of osteomeatal complex. I am telling this one because this is important when you are studying sinusitis. Okay, please watch that video also. In sinusitis, due to cold, cold will eventually block this osteomeatal complex, and eventually the patient will get sinusitis. Okay, so you need to understand this one. I hope everyone understands this concept. So osteomeatal complex is nothing but the entire complex which is present here. Thank you guys.